Is what it is. Let's go here. Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Freedom Forum. And, well, now, to pin that up top. All right. All is well. All is well. As I said before, welcome to the Freedom Forum. If y'all don't know how this works, basically you basically say whatever you want, do whatever you want, goof off, relax, talk shit, and basically we just basically just a relaxation on the day is what it is. So a little bit of history. If y'all don't know what the connotation of Mayday is, 1st of May in ancient times, Mayday was a day which was celebrated by the Aztec, by lots of different Native American societies, and also by several different European and African and Oriental societies as well. It was considered to be the absolute first day of spring, the point where spring becomes. It was the absolute first day of recognizable spring, where the plants and animals have all become more acclimatized to warmer climate. The plants have started sprouting. The animals are they're bringing their babies out for the first time to go and be seen. So that on May Day, there was normally a festival. And this festival includes something known as the Maypole. Now, some of you may have heard of that term before. I'm going to explain to you what the Maypole is. Now, pardon me if I sound like I'm, missing a beat or here, or I'm not firing on all cylinders, vocally speaking. The other effect of spring is that those of us who have allergies end up enduring the worst of it. Yummy. All American lung butter. Breakfast of champions. Anyways, as I was saying, the Maypole. Maypole was a way to celebrate the coming of the year, like it becoming its fruitfulness, its the green of everything growing, and the profusion of animals. And so what they would do in ancient Aztec society and ancient Mayan society, both of them actually did this. And there's one in Peru, I can't remember what it might be the Nazca, it might be something else. What they did is they would erect a pole and they would tie colorful rope that they had been braiding all winter long, and they would tie this colored rope to their feet. They'd climb up the pole, tie it to their feet, and then shimmy back down the pole until they were hanging just above the ground. And their friends would grab their hands and run around in circles around that pole. And by doing so, they would create a twisted filigree of colored rope down this pole, and it would signify the binding of spring and the bringing of spring into what it should be. This is spring solstice, by the way. For those of you who don't know, that's one of the other things about Mayday that until modern times when we started paying more close attention to the weather as well as the lunar effect. May Day was always considered to be that day where we came to spring solstice. So May Day is a big deal in history. You go back, you see here, I believe it was the call sign of May Day for distress was not brought about until I think just about the middle to the end of World War II. In fact, um, as a distress call. I believe it was just a feller who he just he finalized it or something. I can't remember all that on that one. But what I can remember is about the ancient history of it. And like I said, May Day is a very special day for most Native Americans. So this is a day of celebration. This is a day of um, you know basically the coming of life. Yeah, Easter and all that, but the the festival of Easter and the festival was it Maggie, I think is what it said. That's why it was changed to May in Western vocabulary, was because Maggie is the the time of the coming of the spring. So Maggie, the festival of Maggie is when you bring in the spring through the many foods and all the leftovers that you have from winter would be made into one great meal this day, and then spread around amongst the community. It's kind of like the world's biggest potluck. So, anyways, um, I was just I was sitting here working my ass off, and I says to myself, you know what? Today is May 1st. I'm gonna do a freedom forum, and I'm gonna have me a beer because it is freaking May 1st, man. Happy May Day, y'all. You know how it goes. Celebrate every time, every chance you get, because life is too goddamn short to be sitting there on your ass going and doing nothing without having some form of happiness. So, yeah. Ouch. I'm getting too old to be doing this sort of shit. Where did I put the? All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and close down the cam here. That was my little spiel about Mayday, and anybody who wants to jump up in the box, feel free. Y'all. This is the Freedom Forum. You're welcome to do whatever you want. Just no porn bombing or pornography in the chat, and no bullying of the panel or the chat. And those are the only two rules in the whole damn thing here, because we want to be mature adults. Yeah, I get it. What's a party without a little bit of cutting up? But seriously, it's just a matter of the channel. It ain't nothing else. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for cutting up. I see more of my fair share of good parties now. That just being said, don't be streaking on the panel. No, any Hoosiers. I still got beer in my That one does me. Whoa. Greetings to the Erie Coast, my friend. How you doing, Mad Shad? Good to see you. Happy Mayday to you, brother. Another day we're all still alive, right? Cheers, beers, skull and all. Of course, if you're working, then you're probably not drinking, but that's fine. Me, I work and I drink. I drink and I work. And to be fair and honest, I kick ass. Oh. May the farce be with you. Yeah, it's all a farce, my brother. It's all a farce. But the new thing is that you know, the new farce anyways is that if we just go along and do what the government says, they're going to protect us and they're going to keep us safe and they're going to stop the bad people. I says to myself, wait a minute, who says who's a bad person? I want to know, because they might not necessarily be good people themselves. Well, as I look at it, if we can't get along and not do harm, then what's the point about saying, you know, who's bad or who's good? Any Hoosiers. It is spring, as you can probably quite hear from all the birds in the background here. There's a lot of goings on around here. Neighbors out there working with the backhoe, and I'm out here working with the shovel and the pick. So I'll show y'all what I'm doing with that in just a minute. I decided to go and fix up the creek and the waterfall, the fountain, because it was sucking up a lot of water and it wasn't putting it back into the pond. So I was losing a lot of water here. So I figured out something that would actually be like a compromise between permanent and semi-permanent as far as building code is concerned, and that way I'm not going and having to go pull permits to put in a pond, because I think it's kind of stupid. You know, you can get away with certain things if you do them a certain way, but you do them any other sort of way and you get yourself in trouble without pulling certain special fucking permissions and this, that, and the other. Like you got to put plastic in the ground or something. So yeah, you know, that's the way as it's been said. You know, they'll allow temporary ponds. They'll allow you to dig a hole in the dirt and it makes a fucking puddle. You can keep fishing there for a little while. That's a temporary farm pond. aka a mill pond. But you can't go and then line that pond under, otherwise that's considered a lined pond, and you have to have a special permittation up here for that, which is kind of freaking stupid, in my opinion. Just my particular. Because I'll put it this way. You're hemorrhaging money in order to keep in order to keep your fish alive. If you ain't got a liner in the pond, because you still got permeability issues. Even when it's just clay, you're still going to have permeability issues. So I kind of figured out a compromise. Nobody ever said that you had to have a permit to put a liner in a creek. And since I found out that that's where my mainstay of my loss is, I decided to put liner in the creek and leave the pond as a clay line pond. And that, I think it, if unless I'm much mistaken, that gets around their little bullshit, teetotaling, fucking high and mighty highfalutin crap. Well, where are they going to govern what I do in a damn backyard? So I'll just show that here in just a second, as soon as I get my cigarette lit. All right, here we go. So you can see here I've got tarp as a liner, and it comes all the way down. But frame it, you fuck. Here, comes all the way down here and runs down the creek, down and around down this creek, all the way out until it comes to the sand filter there, which is just a bunch of rocks set across the top. And that rock stops any of the sediment going into the pond. And so by coming down the waterfall here, you get aeration, and then it drops down into this creek and leaves its sediment behind. That's the whole idea behind that. It is its own little filter. Hey, Andy, good to see you. So, as it were, I got myself my pond running right nice, and I do believe that this actually goes around their little bullshit rule, because I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. You got to have a permit to have a lined pond. Well, I'm going to point something out to you. See that pond there? That sucker. It's clay. There's no liner in that. Matter of fact, you can kind of see it here. The liner ends right here. It stops at the end of the creek. And that gives me just enough, it gives me 3 foot from the pond to be able to say, hey, the pond ain't lined. There's no liner in that pond. Liner's in the creek. Best of both worlds. No land erosion and water loss. And at the same, I ain't got to pull a permit for that fucking pond, because it's a clay pond. Using that noggin, you know what I'm saying? See, there is a way to buck the system. You just gotta be smart enough. Oh yeah. And don't be worrying about getting freaking scuzz under your nails for it. Because I tell you true, you're gonna get dirt on your nails. It's gonna happen. This is a dirty job. It's kind of hard to tell you how much muck I have waded through in the last week, but I'll tell you what, I could start a pottery shop with all the clay I had on the bottom of my boots. Yeah, buzz off. Damn pestilent bird. Reason I can't get no new growth. Birds come in and they eat all the freaking seeds off out the garden, and then the rats come behind them and destroy all the growing. So all I got's left is brambles. You know, last night I was sitting here, I says to myself, I feel I'm about done with these rats. And my birds started chittering like crazy, and I says, what? I'll get up, I grabbed my rifle, I walked outside, walked over to the coop, and one of my birds had some of its feathers plucked. I says to myself, oh no, it's gonna stop right here now. So I waited. I stood outside of that coop for probably about an hour. My back was on fire, my body was hurting, but I just stood there. And that little rat decided right about in an hour, he decided he was gonna come out. I tell you what, I dotted his I's and crossed his teeth. I made sure that he don't come back to hurt my chickens. But I tell you true, it took an hour of standing there, not moving, for a rat to feel comfortable to come out. Y'all think that, oh well, when I go out and when the world comes to end, I'm just gonna run out in the woods. I'm gonna point out to you, you better be one of the most patient people on the planet, because otherwise you are not going to get any kind of food. You understand why when folks go out in the woods and they go out there to survive and they think, they're going to hunt and they're going to do that and that's going to be how they survive. You understand how they end up dying from starvation, right? It's because they decide that one day they just going to go out in them woods and they got it all covered, and they're used to that rat race of society and getting everything right now, right now, right now. And they forget about patience. Patience is one of those things that I cannot extol enough. Gives you the ability to be unpredictable. You got to remember every now and then, slow down. Straight up, just slow down. You ain't in a hurry to get things done. Because if you're in a hurry to get things done, you're in a hurry to fuck shit up. Let's be clear. I messed up on building the creek the first time because I didn't realize how much water was going to pour down the backside of my fountain. I have since fixed the problem. You got to think about it. It's patience. It's all about patience and critical thinking. You cannot critically think if you are not patient enough to slow down, stop, and say, wait, what is the problem? What is the solution? If you can't stop for 5 fucking seconds and say those two questions to yourself, you are never going to make it in life. You are going to just be sitting on your ass thinking, well, it'll get worse. It's going to get worse. It's always gets worse. Yeah, because you never got up off your ass and did nothing to go and fix it now. And that's my point. Don't get so complacent that you just don't do nothing. But definitely have enough patience to be able to sit back and say to yourself, what is the problem? How do I fix it? I will I will go out on a limb and says to myself that with this instant gratification bullshit nowadays, everybody done lost their minds and they thinking that there's going to be some instant fix it for their problems. It doesn't work like that. I got one rat last night. There is going to be a plethora of rodent population problem to deal with in the future. That is not the only rat in the garden. This is my point. You got to have that kind of patience. You got to have that knowledge that it's not going to end. Staying power. There's another good one. Staying power. Stamina. And I like to call it staying power because it's not just, stamina. It's not just the ability to keep on exercising when, others would fail because they live a sedated life. I'm talking staying power. I'm talking the ability to be like a pit bull, to hold on, to not let go of the situation, to focus for a very long period of time. I mean, y'all think of me as scattered, but I point out something to you. My brain is so scattered because of the fact that I can focus so dedicatedly on one subject for so long that it appears as if my brain is scattered. It's just that things have been compartmentalized and I have moved things to a different part of my mind. For instance, I still have a book to finish. I still got a sword to finish. I still got, gardens to fence up. I still got other things to do. But what is most pressing at this moment is this fountain and this pond because it is adding to my ability to have the garden, to feed myself, to not have to be entirely reliant on my chickens. You see what I'm saying? Every single thing that you do in your life should be an asset. What ends up happening is we've gotten so far caught up in this instant gratification that we will take liabilities just as often as we will take assets, which creates a net loss in the long run. And you'd only know this if you think about things in like an economic or an entrepreneurial sense. yeah, sure, I could be Mr. All Lovey-Dovey and be like, all right, well, the birds are just fine, the rats are just fine, nobody's hurting anything, they're all. But on the end of it, I end up having to feed out of my pocket 4 to 5 times as many animals as I ever get anything out of, at the very least. Now, I lose my garden because even though I go and I'm feeding the animals, they're still eating my garden. It ain't gonna stop just because they got other food sources. They're still gonna eat my garden. They're still gonna attack my chickens. They're still gonna go after the eggs. They're still gonna try and eat my fish. So instead of doing the whole Mr. Nice Guy, just take liabilities at the same as I'm taking, um, you know, those assets, I choose to protect my assets, which is both righteous and our right as Americans. You have the right to protect your assets. That's the Fourth Amendment. You have the right to protect your person, your property, your papers and effects. Your property aligns to your livestock, it aligns to your gardens, to uh, your farmstead, your crops, what have you, in that sense. Orchard, what have you. If you have a herd of cattle, property is not just the house or the plot of land that you live on. It's not just your car. Your property is everything that you put into your place. It is everything that you put into your car. It is everything you put into your life. That is your property. Hey, cuz, how you doing? So, as it were, you should be, in my opinion at least, you should always be adding to your assets and treat liabilities with at least some function of disdain. You're going to have a lot easier life than you would otherwise. You're going to be, a lot better off financially speaking. Now, see, this is the whole thing where this is why I verify quite more with Republicans than I do with Democrats. Democrats, they look at a liability and say, "Oh, it's so brave." They look at a liability and they go, "Those poor, those innocent, those this, that, and the other. Oh, my heart." And they forget about their soul. They forget about their body. They forget about their mind, and they go with their heart. They lose track of the function and functionality of asset over liability. This is why, as much of an animal lover as I am, fuck the bullshit. Them rats die now. I ain't gonna wake up to a damn snake in my house. I'll fair share say that right, and I mean it. I ain't waking up to no snake in my house, so I'm gonna have to deal with the rats now before I have the snakes later. Bird, you are in a very dangerous situation. Stay out of my garden. That is your final warning. And now you don't get no more warnings. I'm going to tell you the truth, bugger off. These ain't the seeds you want to steal. And that is how I normally deal with it. I just says something to the wildlife around here. They listen for the most part. It ain't always. And that's when I got to bring out old Betsy. They get the drift when you're sitting there pointing a gun at them. God's honest truth. Either that or they get the drift in the long run and then you ain't got to deal with it no more. You see, I ran that bird up out of my garden without having to fire a shot. Didn't even have to fire a shot. Just let him see the gosh darn air gun, and he gone. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. So yeah, and to all new folks coming in, welcome to the Freedom Forum. As you know, so I'm cracking me a beer, and well, I might decide to lay a few more of them chunks of that fountain and whatnot. Cheers, beers, y'all. All right. So next step here, I think I'll just cam up again since nobody wants to jump up in the box. Set her up, y'all. There's that. And counterweight. There we go. All right. So now I'm gonna be setting down the fountain here, and got some more of the retaining wall to put back in. This is gonna be fun. Oh.
Two by four. Yeah, that'd be about right.
Oh, let me see here.
Yeah. Should do it actually. Perfect.
Sweet. How you doing there, Pete? Good to see you, brother. Hard work to accomplish a skill, or accomplish a goal, as it were. That's what I'm doing here. There you go. There's the third. Still got more work to do. So pretty soon that's going to come up above the top here. Got one more over there. Now it's going to sit right direct on top of this one and have hopefully that same plane there. That should give me a repetitive fall there. Only problem with natural filters, you got to be careful about what kind of plants are in there because you can poison fish. So I am building a fountain that will then aerate my pond and well, rebuilding the fountain actually, as it were, that will aerate my pond and do a daggone thing. I had to put in a liner on the creek because while the pond doesn't lose much water, the creek was losing several gallons, several tens of gallons, about 90 to 100 gallons a day. Well, 90 to 100 gallons every 12 hours. So I was thinking to myself, well, there's got to be a big sump coming off of this. Something's happening. And so I dug out the fountain again. I looked at it, and it was all flowing down the back side of the fountain wall and down into underneath the garden, where there's a large deposit of gravel at the bottom. And so I had to put in a liner that would direct the water back towards the pond. I was only getting a trickle when I should have been getting a good flow. Now I'm going to be getting a good flow, hopefully. But here, I'll give you a good look at it. All right. So yeah, I put in a liner. This tarp is basically a temporary liner. All right, and that comes back to this little cavity right here. It's all lined out with the tarp, kind of fans out. That comes up underneath and behind the fountain here. And then there's a second liner underneath the fountain, underneath the waterfall itself, that will allow the water that comes off the backside to also come down into the front. There's a better view. So I got lots of work to do here. And I still got one more layer of that fountain to put on there, so I got the proper waterfall and the proper filtration. But it should come together and give me plenty of return water so as I'm not choking out my fish. Got to dechlorinate water and all that. It's all sorts of fun, man. Just because I was losing so much water. The dude! How you doing, dude? It's the dude, y'all. Take some work, yeah. Oh well. Cheers, beers, brother. So yeah, I'm sitting here. I understand there's a reason why I'm standing so far away from the camera, and it sounds kind of like I'm talking down a hallway to y'all. Is because I'm now on the other side of the fountain from you, and the other side of that ditch down below. So lots of work. It should pay off though. Oh, bird, nobody cares. All right. Peat moss. It's good stuff. Oh, well. All right. So, slip disc. Look, that's normally a herniated or hemorrhage disc. That's really the only treatment for that is inversion. Compression shirts, really, inversion, and high liquid intake. So, cheers, beers. That is a pickle. When you can't stand up and take a crap. That's about when the world has gone to shit. Literally. And, well, there ain't much you can do in order to fix it now. Except get up and go take a shit. Yeah. Oh boy. More work, yay. If I'm not careful, I'm gonna end up in that same boat. All this lifting I'm doing, I ain't supposed to be doing that. Every time I turn around, something more is going on. It makes me gotta jump back and say, ow. Thank you, bird. Nobody cares. Yeah, well, you just try it then there, Buster. You know how well that works out for you. Oh, shit. A little further. That's what she said. Oh, no. I didn't want that to be level. Damn it. Well, now, that puts me in a bind. Not to fix that. Okay. Little Stu over there, he's working real hard at finding out who Colonel Sanders is, I tell you. Why is it that every time I turn around, that shit's making me have a more difficult life? Okay, that should work. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh. Oh. Now. Time for proof of concept. All right. All right. Now we'll see if the crit flows. If the waterfall runs righteous. There's the first pour. And here looks like the second pour coming in. Oh, there's the second pour. There's the third pour. There she rolls. Now I need to go turn on the other water, just so that we don't lose the entirety of the pond just trying to fill up the creek. But it seems that I'm going to get what I want. Quite a bit of lift there too. If you knew how deep the pond was, you'd be like, oh shit, that thing went way further than what it was tested at, which its test is actually 6.5 feet. So ooch. There's the hose. All right, quick, I'm gonna attach this over here. Okay. Decided it wanted to change the camera on me. As you can see, I have a secondary hose here for filling the pond. I've already had to do this a couple of times. Trying to figure out how to keep water in the pond is a little bit more difficult than some people might think. Okay. So we'll put a little bit of excess on the top. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. So well, thank you, dude. I appreciate it a lot. Just turns out that just trying to get my life in order, you know what I'm saying? So I could turn around and says to other folks, hey, this is something you could do, you know. Of course, with me, it's one of those things where discretion is the better part of valor. Don't always do as I do. Sometimes it's better to just do as I says. But here I'm already filtering all the chlorine out of that water with that charcoal. And it's coming out clear down here. It's just gotten a little bit of nasty in it because the gravel that's in it, of course. So it's going to have to cycle a few times before it finally says, all right, now I'm going to start filtering out all the sediment and stuff. So well, I'm glad you're back, Eric. Good to see you. But yeah, all the dribble off that was going towards the back end now is going to start coming out the front end. I no longer have to worry about losing gallons upon gallons of water through the back end and into the garden. I can water the garden as I feel. That was my major issue. I was losing a ton of water and it was going right behind the retaining wall and into the garden. And well, that's all right. You know, it's watering the garden and whatnot. I'm getting good flowers. So my raspberries there, yo. The problem is that feller's next door, his sump, his leach field, as it were, his leach sump comes right here into the back. All right, and goes up that way. So his leach field goes right into my garden. So I don't want to be flooding him out while, you know, still having aesthetics and having, you know, fish and whatnot. I want to flood him out and have him have a sewer backed up and, you know, all that problem. That ain't righteous. So I fixed my issue right quick and in a hurry before it ended up causing my neighbor issue. Hell, he didn't even have time to complain. That's when you know you're shit. Instead of knowing you are shit. It works, by God's it works, ja! Jawohl, mein Hund. It works, ja. Oh, Dingy. Oh, he's a fur. Guys, he was a fur. And I love my fur. You smell like dead fish. Tell me you ain't been eating off them dead fish. Okay. You're drinking from the pond, huh? Okay. That's not your fault then. I ain't gonna get mad at you for doing things that ain't your fault. Hey, you know how it works. State Farm is there, bruh. Oh! Okay. You're all done. You're done. Dog out. Go on. You're the best off one. It's a dangerous spot. Yes, I love you too, but you gotta go. Well, now, that is already kicking ass and taking names. All right. I don't even need to have this water, you know? Ha 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 ha. All right. Now, y'all probably saw this before, but it used to be nice and green. Of course, now it's starting to go back towards that brown silty. And that's all because I had that hose down there running and pushing water in. So now there ain't no more water pushing in. That silt's going to fall to the bottom. But already you can see the flow is way better. I'm not getting so much falter back here. It's got a little bit to fill up, but it's running nice, and I ain't getting any loss down the back end. Mission fucking accomplished. So I'm gonna go have me a beer and some bud and a cigarette and chillax over in the woodshed. Y'all come over and hang out, yeah? The birds are doing well. Hell, even Stu's in his right mind today. That's a surprising bit. No. Nine Honda. Du wirst aufhängen. Oh, shit. Come on now. There we go. Aha. There we go. Hey. Dude. What the? Hey. You about to spill my beer. Dog out. Right now. Good training. Good dog. Cheers to him and cheers to y'all. It's actually a pretty good beer. So, that their pond is running full. We'll see how I do in a few hours, but I suspect that the liners are going to do their job. This is how you get a job done. This is how, you know, you be an equitable person. You know, sorry, fuck that equity shit. And ethical person. All right. So a little bit of beer, a little bit of bud, a little bit of tobacco. What time is it? Wow. 12:45, 12:48 itch, sort of thing, whatever. See, I grew up doing my times tables with the old, you know, the wristwatch or the old the clock face instead of doing times tables with a digital clock. I don't know what these kids are doing now, but I learned when somebody says it's 5:30, it might be 5:29, it might be 5:25, or it might be 5:35, but it don't fucking matter. It might be 5:39 and 3/4. It's still 5:30. As soon as it's set around that 5:40 mark, then it's 5:45. I mean, I could tell you down to the minute, second, hour, and all that fun shit. Fine, you know, it's 12:49 and 37 seconds. Does that make a daggone difference? No. You don't know what time of day it is. You know what time it is, but you don't know what time of day it is. See, if somebody says it's 12:45, well, you know it's sometime around noon to afternoon. You know what? These kids nowadays, they're being taught to read tread ties, and I ain't fucking. When I was a kid, we learned how to fucking actually do multiplication and division. We got an education, as it were. We didn't get drag queen story hour. We got a movie. We got to watch, you know, Iron Will, the Iditarod. We got to watch Jeremiah Johnson, frontiersman in America. You know, we got history through film. We didn't get what was self-expression and sexual orientation education. What the fuck is that shit? Ain't that an adult subject? That ain't supposed to be in those schools. Nah. If my grandmama was alive, boy, she'd be slapping the piss out you. I'll tell you what now. You won't see an irate Southern woman just go and tell her that she's gonna be having her kids educated in how they fucking their expression, their personal expression and sexual education shit's going on. You watch how a Southern grandma come out of her fucking woodwork, start whooping on a motherfucker. My God, I sit back and be like, I ain't taking that switch. That ain't me. It were me. I didn't do it. I wasn't part of it. I wasn't having none of it. I was, tell you what, man. Our great grandparents is spinning in their fucking graves looking at this shit that's going on in society today. No, I mean like a motherfucking twister, like a top fucking. It was up to me. Education would be just that. You are learning things that are going to be utilized in your life specifically to enhance your ability to affect your life and livelihood. It has absolutely nothing to do with people's particular persuasions or kinks or wants. No, it has to do with this is reality, and that's what you're getting educated. We're not doing the fucking bullshit of you have to accept this crap. You have to question every fucking thing. Question everything so you know it's real. That's what education would be, in my opinion. Nah, there's a reason I'm taking this in the woodshed, because that right there. This is a talk which you would have with your old man in the woodshed. Like, boy, don't you let me now hear not one time as you agree with that bullshit. Because it ain't right. It ain't reality. Yeah, sure, it's, you know, it may be something for one individual who has a fucking a wild ass medical malady that for some reason they were literally born with their testicles still up inside of them, so their body acted accordingly, but they are biologically a man. Okay, fine. That's fucking weird as hell. It's one of those one-offs that does not normally fucking happen. It's way out there in the woods sort of shit. You don't know often hear about it. I mean, if it wasn't for an episode of House, I wouldn't even know about it. But these people that they feelings is, I'm sorry, that don't work. Your feelings don't mean that goddamn dipshit. Your feelings is gonna be broken real quick. Reality don't give a fuck about your feelings. So yeah, that one-off medical thing, all right, I'm fine with it. All right, that's that's a situation where your body's gonna kill you if you don't. Fine, I understand. Every fucking thing else is just goddamn bullshit. And gender reaffirmation and bullshit. Like, excuse the fuck out of me, but I don't know if you noticed this, but you got twig and berry. She's a boy. You got a slit and clit. You's a girl. And the reality of it is, unless, of course, an actual doctor, not one of these fucking goddamn paid off dumbass motherfuckers that just they's making money, so whatever. No, but an actual fucking doctor looks at your hormone readings and sees testosterone, not estrogen or progesterone, but testosterone specific. And it's on a level that should be in a man. But you got a slit in the clit. All right, well, we need to look at that. And then they look at it, and your organs on the insides should be on the outsides, because that's how those organs actually are. That's what they are. They're testicles, not ovaries. Now there's a motherfucking difference. Fine, I agree with that. But everything the fuck else, squirrel the fuck off and get that fucking bullshit out of here. I'm done with that. I ain't listening. Y'all done fucking lost me with that. There are specific medical reasons. Everything else is fucking goddamn wayside bullshit. Somebody not completely understanding who the fuck they is and where the fuck they come from, because they forgot where they come from, so they don't know who they are. They done lost their minds. And in that sense, that's a reason to take it out to the woodshed. We break the chains that bind here. That's why it's called a freedom pole. We break the chains as bind. That's why I try to relax a lot, because, the way as I look at it, there's always somebody trying to crack a whip on you. And oh, sorry, but they don't jive. Now, I might have lost my voice, but motherfucker, I ain't lost my voice. I'm still going to talk at you. Heard? Oh boy. I think I might have got another rooster. Which means I might end up having to kill one of them chickens. That's his life, right? Not fun, but it is what it is. His life. Can't have two roosters in the same household. You end up fucking having a goddamn another killing fest, like is what I had last time. Mm-mm. There's another thing I want to talk about taking out of the woodshed. Now, hear my thought, and mind you, there's a good one behind it. Why is it that we need to always turn to violence when we ain't in our way? Matter just because you feel all butt hurt and a fucking hind jive doesn't mean you get to goddamn pull up your hands on me. It don't mean you get to get all cocky and squawky on me. I'm gonna be so straight serious. We could agree to disagree just fine. But motherfucker, you want to put hands on me now? We gonna have some certain. We're gonna have some certain, and you're gonna have some words with God. That's something I got to take out to the woodshed. You know what? Everywhere as I look nowadays, every which ways I look, somebody done fucked up. Somebody this, that, and the other. Somebody goddamn, losing their minds. And somebody offended over something like, son, shut the fuck up and sit down. Ain't nobody impressed with your offense. Take a look around you. Don't nobody listen to that. Don't nobody care. Matter of fact, all you doing is making people pissed off at you to make it so that they don't want to listen to you. Stop being offended. Plain and simple. Too many times we take this fucking shit way too far. Now the whole thing is if you ain't offended none and you don't listen to what's going on and you don't stand up for the correct people. Well, now they come and shoot your kids in a freaking goddamn school. Son, I got some words for that. You know, where I come from, you shoot up a school, they fucking shoot your ass dead as you was walking. They don't give a fuck whether you made it away or not. They don't. You ain't making it to no goddamn jury. It's that simple. Motherfucker, you shot up a school. Ain't nothing coming for your ass but lead. Your comeuppance is granted, motherfucker. Come on. It's that simple. Whereas I come from, you shoot up the school, you deserve every single bullet that's coming your way. And the cops ain't gonna look at it. They should be like, whatever. It is what it is. Let the people have it. It is not worth fucking getting in there, man. It is not worth fighting them motherfuckers over that. We'll come in with the body bags later. But just let them have it. you ain't shooting up no school around me, son. I put it straight and simple. I hear gunshots at a school and I'm driving past, motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking hit the brakes so fast, motherfucker behind me's gonna end up getting a fucking goddamn fender bender. I seen that shit at Uvalde. I about fell the fuck over. I was like, hold the fuck up, son. How many motherfuckers are standing outside with guns and saying, let us in there? Shit. Fuck your goddamn fucking standing there and saying, let us in there. Motherfucker, get your ass in there. What the fuck you waiting on? Permission? You ain't gonna get it. Go and do. Stop fucking being a little puss ass. It's plain and simple. You don't want to hear what I got to say. It's that simple, Don't listen, but this is truth. If you ain't got the balls to fucking run up in there, man, fuck these motherfuckers that's goddamn say they've got badges in this shit, so you need to stay back. No, fuck that. They ain't going inside. They're standing around holding their cocks in their hands going, this is my rifle, motherfucker. And that motherfucker's got a better gun. Who the fuck gives? Bullets don't care. So as I gotta say, kudos to those who stop the fucking bullshit in its tracks. I don't give a fuck if you got a fucking badge or not. Where I come from, we didn't tolerate that shit. Your ass would be caught out in the fucking middle of the school grounds. Where I come from, they catch you on the street as you coming out your house like, motherfucker, fuck you. You shot at kids. It's over for you. Motherfucker, every fucking goddamn hood in the damn, every hood in the motherfucking goddamn state done fucking green lighted your ass. There ain't nowheres you can go that you running from us. Shit, son. Even the conservatives want your blood. It's that bad. Like, don't tell the truth. Like, yeehaw, motherfuckers, ride 'em cowboy. I'm about to fuck your shit in. You ain't pulling that shit where I'm at, son. I'll be fair and honest. I hear gunshots all the fucking time. Doesn't bother me none. People shooting in their backyards, people shooting at the fucking hillside, people shooting at the range. It's all good. That's fine. Motherfucker, you shooting at kids. Oh, son, now we got some problems. I'm about to fucking shove my fucking gun so far up your ass, I'm about to fucking evacuate your brain. Son, don't fuck with kids. That right there, them's fighting words in my book. That's fuck the woodshed. We taking this out in the back 40. 10 paces, motherfucker. I tell you what, some things they do make me so irate I can't keep my mouth shut on. No matter what they like, oh well, we gotta extol the trans, and I'll fuck that bullshit. That's your decision. That's fine. It ain't my decision. Don't ask me to ever date you. You's a guy, in my opinion. You's a man in my book. I ain't dating something that come out, come into this world with a pecker and a puckle and walks out with a freaking, a canker sore. It just don't work for me. And when you go after people, when you go after their kids, because you got a specific fucking goddamn a will or a want, and that's your fucking, that's how you gonna get your message out there. Well, I got one fucking goddamn treatment for it, and son, it's sitting behind me right now, and you don't want it. It ain't no fucking leather belt, I'll tell you that right now. I ain't putting skin on skin, motherfucker. You about to fucking be pushing up daisies. Or you about to find out real quick if there is a God. I don't give a shit, one thing's another. You got a personal preference, that's on you. Son, you start putting fucking lead on, the lead on forehead, we got us some troubles. And you about to find out what that means. I don't put up with that shit. I don't put up with that shit. I don't fucking think anybody should think it's righteous. I think that somebody should fucking come out the woodwork on these motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck did you just say? You're sitting there and fucking patting the ass of this stupid son of a bitch, regardless of their fucking goddamn fucking political leanings. They fucking goddamn shot up kids. Fuck you and everything you stand for, and I'll be more than happy to show you the fucking way out, you son of a bitch, on a rail with a motherfucking goddamn tar bucket and a fucking handful of feathers. Fuck you. Fucking coming in here telling me, well, we need to be strong for the trans community. I don't give a fuck, son. That trans motherfucker went in there and shot a whole bunch of kids. Fuck you. I'll be happy to provide you the wooden fucking dildo. You splintery fuck. This is what I think is about them fucking people. They ain't right. Matter of fact, if that was my kid, I'd be marching that motherfucker downtown in a motherfucking goddamn the jury's necktie. I'd be going fucking, nah, son bitch, you ain't my child. Fuck that bullshit. Hell no. Just because you got a wild fucking hair up your ass don't mean you get to go and fucking pull that goddamn country stuff. I'm about to put my foot so far up your ass, the water will mock me. You'll quench your thirst, and the fucking polish on my boots will shine your teeth. Fuck that bullshit. All right, cuz that's right. Courage is being scared out of your fucking mind and saddling up anyways. Heard and acknowledged, damn it. There's some shit out there that make me madder than a fucking old red hen. I'll put it this way. There are a few motherfuckers more deserving of a bullet in the moment than those willing to go after children in order to further their goals. That's one thing in my eyes, motherfucker. Kids is off limits. I don't give a fuck. You can talk all the shit you want. You can try and say, oh, well, you just bigoted. No, fuck that bullshit, son. You about to find out what my bigotry is. You don't go after kids. I can't even have kids. That's a no-go for me, son. I'll fuck your shit in for that. We about to find out what a 9 iron tastes like. You don't go after kids. I don't give a fuck what your fucking political persuasion is. And for them fucking motherfuckers that got of a motherfuckers of an adolescent persuasion. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just say it as it is. But fuck you, little pedo bastards. I ain't gonna beat around the bush on that one. Fuck you, pedo bastards. Plain and simple. You get your jollies and rocks off of thinking about little children. There's something wrong with you, son. Because that shit ain't right, and you know it. Hey, Turbo. Welcome to the woodshed. Shit.
Oh no. How are you, Blaine?
I'm fit to be tied.
I can hear that. I've been listening. I'm listening. Just wanted to come up and say hi.
I'm having me a beer and relaxing, having a Mayday, you know?
I know it's Mayday. Did you ever do that when you were a kid in your town or city? The Mayday where you ran around as a kid and left candy on people's doorsteps and rang the bell and I thought a lot of okay. Our town did that.
We
Okay,
didn't do that. We did have a maypole, though.
Yeah, that too.
We had a maypole, and when I was about 9 years old, mind you, I was a nutty ass little kid. When I was about 9 years old, they swung my ass from that maypole.
Whoa. Oh, just okay. The maple, like the whole holiday kind of reminds me of The Wicker Man, if you've seen that movie from the 70s.
Nah.
Maybe. Oh, okay. You should. It's a good movie.
Yeah, probably should. What's up, who? Was ist drum? I love your tone. This is a good one.
Houdini.
Boy. Oh my god. Yes, oh my god. Oh my god, magic. Oh my god, boy. Yeah, see?
Well, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are things? Like, pretty much the same? Anything new going on?
Pretty much the same. Only thing is I got one hell of a buzz going right now.
Do you? Yeah, I'm drinking some wine, per usual. Red.
Well, that's one way to get your wine on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on a strike right now, so I'm suspended. I'm on
Oh
probation.
no!
I know, only for another
Is
day
this
though.
with the music?
Yeah, they started striking, not copyright claiming anymore. So
Yeah.
I fell asleep. I don't know, last week sometime while I was streaming, and I had a bunch of Michael Jackson playing. I didn't even put it on; it just kind of auto played to like a whole crap load of MJ, and I guess um, StreamYard suspended me multiple times and brought me back on. And because I was asleep, I didn't know when it was happening. And then I wake up and it says, you have a, um, what do you call that? Not a copyright, but
Channel strike.
yeah, well, yeah, channel strike. And I said, what? I didn't even do anything. And yeah, I appealed it and they said, nope.
Yeah, that's screw tube for you. They ain't going to fucking listen to what you got to say. They're going to set you to a robot. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, I sit there and I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, this robot don't listen to me, none. I done told them already. It's not a gun. It's not a firearm. It don't break your laws.
I know. And they shouldn't be doing that because aren't we promoting them? And basically, it's like,
Well, that's the thing, though. We are kind of like their advertisement. So if
yeah.
they don't want certain parts of content on there and whatnot, then it advertises in a way that they don't want to hear. And I guess they seem to think that all human beings are controllable in this shit. When the reality is that little terms of service crap, that's not the same as an assigned contract where
Mhm.
you've sat down, you have lawyers, you're looking at the contract and you've read it all the way through, and now you understand what you're agreeing to. Fuck no. That terms of service shit, nobody even reads that crap.
Yep.
I mean, I never read it. It's like, well, what the at the point where they started saying, well, you can't do this and you can't do that, I said, fuck it. Well, if I can't, then I'm gonna find out. Because it ain't no point in freaking reading this crap no more. I mean, it seems you can't even fart on a fucking stream. And that sort of kind of pissed me off because, like, son, you trying to regulate bodily functions.
Mm.
That don't work.
Yeah, yeah. It's changed. It never used to be this bad or this strict. It didn't, but now it is.
Well, it's because people let them get away with it. I don't. I don't
You
let them get away with it. I just says what I'm going to say, and then you know what? They'll strike me down, and then they'll end up regretting it in the future, I guess. To me, it don't pay no matter. It don't bother me one whit or the other because you know what I said.
Mhm.
I'll probably turn around and I'll just my life will advance and be better for it. They're not doing me any harm by fucking striking me down. The only difference is that yeah, I agree. My content is definitely not for children.
Oh yeah, mine neither. And it's not like I'm monetized. I never want to be.
Yeah, that's what gets me is that you know you're not monetized, so the whole strike sort of thing is pretty much the only way they can shut you up.
Oh, and they do. Yeah, they do. Have you had a strike where you a suspension yourself?
I've got strikes, but I've not been suspended.
Wow, because that's what it always results in.
See, I got a firearm strike, and what they did is they cut my stream and they deleted my stream. But
Okay.
they came back and they let me do it later because I was able to prove out, hey, it's not a firearm.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Whatever that
Yeah, the air gun.
air gun.
Hey,
Yeah.
bro.
Hey, cuz.
Hi there.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine. Do you go by Song of the South, or what did your name is?
Yeah, that's me, Song of the South.
I'm just gonna ask real quick so we can get this out the way. We're not gonna have a verbal boxing match, right?
Oh no.
All right, then we're good.
All I know is I feel like Yosemite Sam right now.
No, I just wanted to come up and hang because I don't know. Just wanted to say hi. That's it.
I was referred to my breakfast visit, cuz.
Oh yeah. Earlier in the stream, I said something about I don't want rats in my garden because they bring snakes. The reason why, as I says that, is because my cousin here ended up getting a copperhead that found its way into his house
Oh shit.
and ended
Yeah,
up finding its way into his dog's water bowl.
Oh no.
yeah. I had a rude awakening with my cup of coffee this morning.
Oh, those are venomous too, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I don't. I'm really not apt. I'm in Minnesota. We don't have like a lot of the stuff you have in the South when it comes to snakes and what have you.
I'm I'm in South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm up here in Oregon. We do have venomous snakes, but they're not like. All right, we got a timber rattler.
Hmm.
We got another rattlesnake. Like one other rattlesnake up here is the Pacific coastal rattlesnake, and then we got the coral snake up here, and that's it. Well, we don't have none special elsewise.
I got plenty of copperheads, cuz. I'll send you a box if you want some.
No thanks. I got some fire salamanders if you want.
Oh, we could swap them out.
You
I just looked up what
do. Don't
we
touch your
have
face.
timber. I'm sorry, I
Huh?
didn't mean to interrupt. I just looked up what venomous snakes are in Minnesota, and it does say we have the timber rattlesnake and the eastern Massasauga. I don't know what that is.
Saga. Wow.
I guess.
What? Folks, they think, oh well, United
That
States, they got, they all think about the Western Diamondback rattlesnake, and they forget about all the other venomous snakes we've got in America.
I
Hmm.
think I think the Massasauga is a Canadian snake.
Oh yeah, we're right below Canada, so yeah.
Mhm. There's this is something I found out to pretty much to my chagrin. Um, Here in the northern America, we have a snake that if you were to take its venom and make it more potent by concentrating it, you'd have basically a snake which its venom does the same thing as the Australian brown snake.
Mm.
And most people don't even know it. They literally they hold these snakes in their hands like they don't even think about it.
Cuz I got a storm over me, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be on the air.
All right, well, hear
Uh,
me
uh,
out, because this will trip you out. That particular snake happens to be the garter snake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one.
of all the different snakes in the world, the one that you would think is like the absolute least venomous there is, if it even has venom. If you turned around and concentrated its venom right and proper, you'd have something just as deadly as the deadliest snake in Australia.
I
Mhm.
think the most deadliest snake there is either the mamba or the cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deadliest there is. But if we went and said, like the one that causes the most bites versus the most fatalities in Australia, which is known as the venom capital of the world, then we'd have to say, the Queensland brown snake would be that particular snake. And if you look at the venom properties of the snake, and you look at the venom properties of garter snakes, American garter snakes, it's the exact same thing.
Hmm.
And if you don't want a snake, I could send you an alligator.
Now,
Oh, I
there's
used
something
to.
I might think on. I wouldn't mind having me a gator.
Really?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, no, I lived in Florida. I remember that.
And when when the time comes where I can't legally have them no more, I got myself a suitcase. I got myself a pair of leather shoes, and at the same time, I got myself a fry that could last for about 3 days.
Hmm.
Heck yeah, gator. Mm.
Do they have a lot of gator? Do they have gators in South Carolina? I suppose, huh? I
Yeah,
didn't know.
in the lower part of the state, close to the
Mhm.
Georgia line.
You got storms there right now? I was just looking it up. Is it hurricane season happening or?
It, Mother Nature's pitching a temper tantrum.
Uh-oh. She'll take back what's hers. Yeah, I know how that goes.
Yeah, she decided that it was one of those pack my suitcase days.
Yeah, she's on PMS today.
Watch out.
Yeah, she had her period, so I says I'm gonna pack my suitcase.
Okay. Well. Yeah, we've been under a flood watch for 2 weeks here in Minnesota. Our rivers have rose 2 levels not seen in a decade. And
Because I've heard that slang in two different ways, from the male perspective and from the female perspective. The PMS stands for the male, the PMS is pack my suitcase. But
I never heard that.
for the female, it's putting up with men's shit.
I like that, actually. My suitcase.
But no, man, yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh my lord, got me laughing over here.
Blaine's got a buzz.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna have me a buzz for a while now. I had me a bird, and then I had me some bud, and
because the biggest copperhead I got was when I first moved here back in the early 80s, and I killed a copperhead that I could hold him up in the air, and his tail was over my head, and his head was dragging the ground. He was big around as your damn arm.
So
I like to shit on myself when I seen that son of a bitch.
whoa, dear Lord, because I'd be looking around for a pair of pants.
I had to kill it. I killed it with a bush axe.
nice.
Wow. That means you had to get close enough to be within you. That motherfucker, if he would have had half of mine, he could have had you right in the face.
Yeah, I was lucky I didn't step on it. I was mowing the grass and I pulled the cord out of the damn lawnmower when I looked over and seen him laying there. I was like, it was like one of them oh shit moments.
Any of you two ever been bit by anything? Bit by?
I've been bit by a wolf spider.
Okay. Oh shit. Are those? Are they venomous?
If we're including insects, then yeah, a lot. But as far as snakes, only been ever bit once, and I got a drive-by. I got bit by a Mojave.
Snake?
Mojave green rattlesnake.
Yeah, they're very popular down in the Southern California.
Yeah, I got lucky. It was a dry bite. I didn't have to go to the hospital, but I was still like, my leg swelled up, big as a tree trunk.
I seen some I seen some rattlers and sidewinders out there in New Mexico and Texas area.
Matter of fact, when that snake tagged me, I ran half a freaking mile to my campsite, thinking I was gonna die anyway, so I might as well die where my family would find me, right? And so I get to my campsite, and my leg swelled up. It was painful as hell, but the swelling went down after a couple days. Well, while I was laying there, trying to sleep it off and whatnot, that snake ended up tracking me down and ended up in my, like, right where I was sleeping at, coiled up, not a foot from my head.
Sounds like a movie. It found me.
Yeah, those snakes are known for their aggression, and they will hunt you down. They will hunt your scent down all the way back to your house. They don't care where. They will literally cross deserts. They will cross freaking mountaintops. They do not care. They'll go across rivers. Only thing I ain't never seen them cross is the freaking ocean.
And the other thing I told you, cuz, was about the cottonmouth and the canebrake rattler. That's around my area.
Them canebrakes are only about yay long. They're not that big. Maybe 6 inches to a foot long, but they will mess you up.
When I lived in Florida, we encountered water moccasins. I do remember those.
Yeah,
they're dangerous.
not as aggressive as those Mojave greens are, but they'll still chase you down for a good, good football field.
I mean, when it comes to spiders, we have the brown recluse up here in Minnesota. That's about it when it comes to venomous spiders.
And we got the black widows.
I think it's rare, but we get those too, but nothing like in the South.
They're under it.
Up here we got yellow sac spiders, red sac spiders, tunnel spiders, all sorts of different spiders up here that mess you up. But when I was down in Blythe, I got bit by either it was a black widow or it was a brown widow. And them brown widows, most people, they think, oh, well, it's not that bad. No, a brown widow mess you up. I still can't feel my thumb.
Wow, shit.
And I got bit right here on my arm. All right. I still can't feel my thumb. And it's been several years. They will mess you up bad. You think, oh, well, it's just a spot. No. Still can't feel that something.
Mother Nature will leave you a calling card if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. All I did was reach up underneath of my trailer to go and grab my my little stepping stool so I could get up in the trailer. And I felt this pinch on my arm, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And so I pulled my arm out real fast, and I shook my arm, and I see this it looked like a juvenile black widow crawling across the ground. That's why I said I think it was a brown widow.
Hey, cut. My ex-wife put her dress on one time, and a scorpion got her. She done the damn Watusi all around the damn house.
I got
That's
hit
good.
by a scorpion. The same spot where I had one of them, what they call scab spiders. They'll lay an egg in a scab, and then it'll grow into a little tiny black spider, and they crawl out of it. It's really weird. But I got stung by a scorpion in the same spot, and I got a pit there from it. You can almost see it,
Let me see.
like right here.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I got stung by a scorpion that was this long.
Tiny.
They're that long and fire engine red.
Mm.
Down in the Mojave Desert, down in Southern California, they got something called the tornado scorpion. It's spelled like tornado, but it's said with the Spanish, the Spanish inflection. And it's because when you get stung by it, it's like you got hit by a tornado. It literally, first when you get stung by it, it'll wind you. It will. It'll put your whole body into shock immediately to the point where you can't even react to it. I was actually climbing the side of a mountain when I did it. I was hanging onto a cliff face, and this scorpion come down and nailed me in my hand, and I locked up, and I fell off the cliff face, and I fell about 20 foot.
Shit.
And it knocked the wind right out of me.
Hey, cuz, guess who's coming to the next county, the county next to me in July?
Oh, would that be Mr. Hayden Biden?
That Mr. On the road again, angels flying too close to the ground.
Oh. I'll tell you what, guys, I will never smoke weed with Willie again.
Yeah, it's his 92nd birthday.
Oh, I saw that on the. I read an article. Yeah, he's. I thought he turned 90.
It may be. You may be right. It may be 90. I know it's 90 something.
Yeah, I think it's 90 because I read it on an article just yesterday. I think.
Well, I'll tell you what. If weed is such a bad drug, you better get its ass in gear, son, because Willie Nelson is 90 years old.
Are you talking about marijuana?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? Minnesota finally are legalizing it recreationally here. Finally.
You're lucky. If I do it around here, helicopters will drop in my backyard.
Oh, South Carolina hasn't, huh? I didn't know. All right.
Hey, let me put it this way. I got plants that I'm trying to grow in my backyard right now. If my cousin went and did that,
yeah,
not only would the FBI and the DEA be coming after his ass, but I think that he'd be ending up being able to, he'd be able to go and turn around and make a claim for, the cartels trying to come in and knock him out.
Oh, sure.
Shit. They,
Hi, 300 survival. 300 survival said, "What's up?" to the chat, and you, Blaine, in your side there.
What's up, 300? I can't see the chat.
Pete, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, bro.
He said they got camel spiders where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
I got the wolf spiders around here. They're about half the size of a tarantula. They're big enough to make you hurt yourself.
Yeah, they're huge, though, aren't they? I've seen them in Australia. Well, I mean, online. I thought wolf spiders were huge.
They're about the size. They're about the size of your hand.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So, our wolf spiders here are this big, but if one bites you, it could mess you up for a week.
And they got an attitude.
Wolf spiders elsewhere where, the wolf spider, you get bit by a wolf spider, yeah, it'll hurt. It might go numb. You might get a pustule for a little while, but it ain't that bad. Up here, if you get bit by a wolf spider, especially the yellowback wolf spider, you will either end up in a hospital or a morgue. That is how serious it is.
Sure.
It's big. It's big enough. It's gray, fuzzy, got about 7 green eyes on it, and it's got an attitude from hell.
Mm-hmm. But yours are up there, they're like, they're like this, right?
Yeah, about that size.
The ones we got up here are like this big, but like I says, it's like getting bit by a black widow.
I tried to stomp on one time in the middle of the road, and that somebody jumped on my pants leg.
I'd have been freaking out because
Yeah, 300 said they run about 10 miles per hour. Oh my God.
yeah, those camel spiders.
All right, I think he's talking. Yeah. Okay, he might be talking about that.
Yeah, he's talking about camel spiders out in the Middle East. They are no joke. They can run about 10 miles an hour across sand.
They'll mess you up.
For reference, the average, fat Joe human being can run about 13 miles an hour. All right. If you were talking a dead sprint, like somebody who's either an Olympic athlete or a regular, just somebody who's done a lot of sprinting and tracking like that, the top speed of a human being is around 29 miles an hour. So, as far as it goes, you are not moving much faster than that spider over hard ground. Think about what it would be like in straight up sugar sand.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about.
Oh my God. I'd be terrified.
Mhm.
And the last thing I got to worry about, what I told you about, cuz the Japanese hornets that just showed up.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Them son of a bitches them damn things look like they got auxiliary fuel tanks on them.
I ain't seen the murder wasps up here, but we got another kind up here that's them ball facers are about this big. They're a lot bigger than the ball face down below, and I'm surprised. And when I says there's a difference between the ball face and the Japanese hornet or the Oriental hornet, there's a total difference. All right, the Oriental hornet has a body that's thick. It's kind of like our ghost face hornets or our
like out of a science fiction movie.
Look at it would be like they look more
Right,
like a bumblebee,
like something out of the nest.
Yeah,
it's out of a science fiction movie.
Yeah.
But they'll kill off your entire hive. One hornet will kill off your entire hive.
Yeah, the honeybees. Yep. I've seen like YouTube videos on that, and it's ironic because just yesterday I was watching something on that hornet you were talking about. A guy caught it with like a butterfly net. He caught one. And they had like these viper-like fangs, and it just started biting through the net. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
that's like something out of a horror movie, no doubt.
And they got a stinger that is as long as my pinky nail.
Yeah, it was stinging the net too. It's like,
I mean, that's a pretty long stinger, mind you. That's a big old stinger. And the stinger's as long as my pinky nail. I think it'll mess you up. And it's not thin like most wasp stingers. It's thick. It looks like a stiletto blade.
And it hurts like hell.
yeah, and they say those fuckers remember you too. I was watching this YouTube thing, and they're like they're talking about how they remember a face. They will come back for revenge or something. And I'm like, oh
yeah. They do remember a face.
Tanya,
like all wasps remember your face. But
me and a friend of mine were out in the middle of the woods. We ran into a nest of them in an old hollow tree. And they're on the outside, but there was over 5,000 of them on the outside of it. And my friend was talking about spraying it with one of them damn hot shot things, from 25 feet away. Yeah. I said, I would spray that thing with a damn flamethrower.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get about the same distance, cuz.
I'd estimate there was over 10 or 20,000 of them in that damn tree.
Yeah, 300. That's what they said. I was reading your chat. They do face recognition. You know?
Facial recognition.
Mm-hmm. I was like, no way, man. That's yeah, but huge. And do they serve the environment in any way? You know how like just about everything has some kind of benefit to the environment. I don't think wasps or hornets do.
They make you want to buy a roll of toilet paper.
They do have a benefit, all right, but it's the same benefit that coyotes do. It's the
Like
same
population
benefit
control.
No, it's the same benefit that flies do.
Are there a food source? I don't know.
No, they help clean up decaying, rotting animals.
Okay. All right.
That's their main food source for protein is rotting flesh. Other than spiders.
Oh, lost south.
Yep, the squirrel done chewed through his freaking power lines again. He got to go kill that fucker.
Oh, is that what's happening?
No, it's a joke that we have. See, he used to says that he had to go and ram an antenna up a squirrel's ass and chase it up the pine tree.
You know, that's fucking ironic because the one animal I did get bit by one time was a freaking chipmunk. And it ran at me. It attacked me, so they figured it had to be rabid. It ran up a tree. I was at a family reunion in the country, and so my uncles and grandpa and all that, they got their shotguns out. They didn't want me to have a series of rabies shots just to be safe. So they did kill it, and they were able to test it. It didn't have rabies. I didn't have to go through that hell.
No, they're just aggressive.
Yeah, like fucking chipmunks, man. What the fuck? I was like, what? But yeah, I was about 8 years old, some shit. Maybe 10.
You know, we keep one of the most, some of the most vicious predators in the world as house pets. And we get all disturbed when an animal that's a natural prey animal goes and defends itself.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do anything. It ran at me. So I'm like, what? It hated me. I said, I was just trying to be nice.
Yeah, no, that's how all those animals see us is as a predator.
Yeah.
Whether or not we're a child, whether or not we're, just trying to be kind and amicable, those animals that are natural prey animals see us as nothing more than a predator and something to be feared.
Well, yeah.
So when it comes down to it, that's why we get along so well with predators. I mean, think about it, dogs, cats. A lot of people don't know this, but most of your parrots are actually they're not predatory so much as they are omnivorous. They will eat anything. I had macaws, and in order to keep their magnesium and their calcium levels up, we would feed them bones.
Okay. Macaws, huh? The bird?
Oh, yeah.
Bones? Oh, that's interesting.
Feed them bones, and I'm talking like steak bones, like beef bones.
Yeah.
And they crack them open like it was a peanut.
With their beaks.
Yep. And in the wild, they're scavengers. They're just as much of a scavenger as like a vulture or a buzzard. They'll eat anything that comes along their way. They don't mind. Meat is just, meat that's dead on the ground is meat they don't have to kill.
Yeah, vultures. What is that? Isn't it the Buddhists who I can't remember what it's called. They put them up on a hill. They slice their skin, their corpses, so the vultures eat them That's how they.
I don't think that's the Buddhists.
I thought they started it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was. I forgot what it was called. It has a name.
Hmm.
Oh,
I don't
anyway,
remember off the top of my head right now.
me neither. You got a buzz. You got a
But
buzz.
I know a lot about Buddhism, and I know that their whole thing is preservation of the body.
Yep.
Or because of a vessel for the soul to come back to. In the instance that reincarnation doesn't happen at that moment, the soul can have a home to come back to every now
Oh
and
yeah,
then.
it is Buddhism because it's called a sky burial and it's Tibetan Buddhisms that Tibetan Buddhist. I just looked it up.
That's something I've never heard of.
It says Tibetans believe that if the vultures come and eat the body, it means that the dead has no sin and that his or her soul has gone peacefully to paradise. Anyway, found that interesting. Well, Turbo, I just came up to say hi and hang. I can take off. I'll be able to be live again.
It's not you guys. It's Houdini. He's being an irritation right now. He's telling me, "Oh, what a play!" I'm like, "No, dude, I'm done. I'm done. We played fetch for a while. Go away."
Houdini's a good boy.
Yeah, but he's also a pain in the ass when he wants to be.
Sure.
Like, dude, no, I'm done. I'm played out. You are panting your ass off. Call it a day.
I'm pouring some more alcohol.
Wish I'd have had to do. Dog.
I gotta go to the
Holy
liquor
shit.
store.
Do you not understand the word no?
How old is Houdini again?
Yeah, no, he doesn't get the word no. I've been trying to teach him that.
Oh, really? Well,
you know what? It's one of those things where it's like, this is what structures my thought process of when we are, as human beings, as our soul comes back to help those who we love and also to learn things that we didn't understand.
mm-hmm.
This is what I'm talking about. A dog that cannot get the concept of no.
Okay. Oh,
imagine for a second, you're a human being that you died because you didn't get the concept of no. So you come back as a dog.
Okay.
And it's a dog, as your dog's life, as the dog life that you have to fulfill, you have to deal with a human being who is a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
I like that theory. Do you have any belief in reincarnation or stuff like that? Oh, okay.
Funny enough, I believe that the soul self-perpetuates. So if you get it wrong, you come back as a human being 100 years after your lifespan or in another place so that you don't disrupt other people's lives. Or you come back as a dog because it's how you need to learn things. Whatever, you come back as a dog, or you come back as a cat, or you come back as like an eagle or something. It all has to do with what's the lesson you need to learn.
So you believe we've been other things in the past then, prior to this, I guess, existence.
It does not align with Hinduism.
Oh, dude, you swallowed wrong, didn't you? It went down your trachea? What happened? Oh, don't talk. Oh, shit, you're not doing so hot there, Blaine. Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
I took an ass hit. Oh,
Mm.
oh, that was raunchy. Anyways, um,
Ew.
so let's not say like reincarnation like what the Hindu believe. The Hindu believe that what you have done wrong
Yeah.
in your life against their religion,
Oh,
you
okay.
will have to deal with in the future. So, like if you kill a cow in order to eat the meat,
Uh-huh.
you will have to come back as a cow.
Mm.
Whereas my belief is you don't understand love, so you have to come back as a pet that is truly love.
Okay.
You didn't get the concept of no means no. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to come back as an ornery mule. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of thing. It's about what lesson did you not learn in life?
Yeah.
And when all's said and done and you've learned everything, everything's perfect and you've got it all right, you transcend. You become part of the ether itself, and
Uh-huh.
you can affect the way that the world itself works without being a part of it. But until then, you still have to be part of it in order to affect the world.
But do you also believe then that you don't remember your prior life at all? Because that would be eternity, and that sounds like
Yeah,
torturous.
you okay. So there's something called the soul's memory.
Okay.
Some people can tap into it, and some people are born with it. But it's a
Okay.
matter of you can't remember everything from a past life, and that will never happen for you, no matter what you do.
Yeah, which
You
is good,
cannot
I think.
remember everything. You
Hmm.
will remember snippets, blips, dreams of it. Okay? It'll never be where you can remember everything that happened.
Yeah, like
I've got
sometimes
a couple of
when you can't
memories.
put your finger on a deja vu moment, do you think that maybe is
I'll put it this way. I got a couple of memories that I have that did not happen in my lifetime.
hmm.
One is my death,
Oh, you
which
do?
was it was a hospital, um, and I had
Were you
a
human?
heart attack of sorts. It's what's called an aortic embolism,
Uh-huh.
which turned into an aortic aneurysm. So first there was a like on the aorta of my heart of that individual, I had a bubble that formed in the aorta, and then that burst,
Yeah, and an embolism.
and that's what killed
So
me in my life.
okay, so that then you were also a human in that one,
Yeah,
a human being. Yeah, okay, okay. Because
and
like you're saying, you think we also come back as other types of
yeah.
life forms.
So, for instance, there's another one where I can remember, and this is a memory that while I did as a child do this, that does not mean that it's the same kind of memory. You don't see a furry snout when you are running on all fours as a child. You see the end of your nose.
Okay.
So it's a little different. So I know at one point in time I was either a bear or a dog. And
Huh.
that's it was a color it was a color dream.
All right.
And mind you, that's as a very, very, very young child. These are dreams that you will get as a young child, and if you know how to look at them, you can understand them as being
Mm-hmm.
spirit. Whereas like other things. And it's little itty bitty bits like what I told you about my previous life, my death in my previous life, that it helps me to ascertain who I could have been, because there's also certain aspects of who I am just in general that point to a specific individual in history that died that direct exact way in the time frame that would have aligned specifically with how my death memory is structured. About 1950s era hospital. 1950s hospital room. So yeah. And if you look at the way that the rest of my life is and how I just things that I'm interested in, stuff like that, you turn around and you go, holy shit, that's fucking Einstein.
Really? Yeah, like I mean, I do. I understand. I don't know what I have ever called it, but I've had those dreams like that hang on, and they give you almost a euphoric feeling. And like when if you can retain it, and if you think about it, it kind of gives you that feeling every time you do. And I always wonder what they meant, and maybe in my death, it will be shown to me.
All right. Every single life that you've ever lived is part of who your soul, of what your soul structure is. And so when you die, your soul remembers everything. Whether or not your conscious memory can remember it, that's different. But it's that soul memory, that background to the subconscious, beyond subconscious. This is where it kind of bleeds into things in your everyday life, and you don't even notice it. You wouldn't even know it was there unless somebody said, "Hey, dude, there's a correlation between these two." I mean, let me put it this way. I have an absolute love for astrophysics, and I have since I was a child.
Yeah.
And not just astrophysics, but nuclear physics and physics in general. I've had a love for it since I was a child, and I could never explain it. So
yeah.
And then when I was about I was about 4 at the time when I had that memory, dream, whatever. And my dad, because I woke up and I was in a panic, and that whole sort of thing where you go running into your mom or dad and you say, "Hey, mommy, daddy, I had a bad dream," sort of thing. You explain your dream to him, sort of thing. Well, he turned around and he cracked out a freaking encyclopedia and said, "Holy shit."
Really? Okay.
Because he was looking at all the facts that I was spitting out, about my dream, and he's looking at the fucking encyclopedia at Einstein and the way he died and where he died and what the fucking room looked like, and they had pictures of it, and he's looking at it, and he's like, "Whoa."
It was something. It meant something.
It was really. So, and I've heard stories of this. There's another feller who, he was a young man when he was a kid, a real, like a little child. He had dreams of flying an airplane in World War II. And he told his parents about it, and he told them all the facts of what he remembered, all right? And these are all memories from a dream that he had. And they lined up exactly with an Air Force pilot who was shot down in World War II, exact to the name, date, type of airplane, and how many bullets went through the fuselage.
Yeah, right. And how old was this kid? About
3.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So this is what I'm saying, though. That this is what blew my mind. I was like, wait, I'm not the only one that's seen this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, yeah, I'm wacky. I'm eccentric. I do all sorts of funky ass shit. I look at mathematics like people look at freaking, a regular old fiction book. So
Yeah.
to me, I see things that other people don't see, and vice versa. I recognize that and I understand that, so I try to see their side of things. At the same, I look at the different correlations between my life and what I've done and the things that the way that I act and the person I am, and I look at Einstein and I think to myself, "Fuck, that's eerie." You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I am Blaine Price. I am not Albert Einstein,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, it's eerie as fuck.
Yeah, it is. Agreed. No, I understand what you're saying.
I mean, at 10 years old, I'm doing calculus and complicated algebra, and at the same time, can't fucking do division.
Really?
I mean, it's just the mind blowing correlations you see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just use a calculator. I'm set. Like maths.
I've always had this thing where I have to put it down on paper. That's another thing that it's a correlation where you look at it, and Einstein never used a calculator beyond the fact that he was alive in a time where we had calculators.
Uh-huh.
He chose not to use one. It was better with a piece of paper and a pen.
Did it come along while in his lifetime, or was
Yeah,
it prior? Yeah, I can understand that because his resistance makes like I resisted a lot of technology for the longest time too, and preferred
well,
another method.
I understand that, but I think that if I remember correctly, his biggest problem with calculators is my biggest problem with scientific calculators. They are always incorrect by 3 data points.
I didn't know that.
Or
That's insane. What the hell?
it's so that a calculator can run algebraically, meaning that you don't know the value of a certain specific, so you're trying to figure it out. So
Yeah.
like this times 111 equals 333. Well, what's this? And that's what the scientific calculator will tell you.
Okay.
So that's about the difference. And you can do square roots and you can do all this other mathematics stuff. But the reason why he didn't like it specifically is because your answer is always 3 data points below or above the true answer. And I was able to prove that in my freaking algebra class in college.
Uh-huh.
I went and I did the long math on the board because the teacher was like, you know what? Yeah, everybody's allowed to use scientific calculators, this, that, and the other, and whatnot. And people were getting pissed that they were coming back with like C's and D's as their grade.
Grade point. Yeah. Grade.
And so, it's only like maybe 3 weeks into the class, and I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna show it up. I'm gonna show everybody up. I'm gonna do the daily problem on the board, because the teacher would always put a problem on the board and say that if anybody can do this problem, they can leave the class and they don't have to come back for the day.
Oh, really?
So, there was nobody that would ever get up and do the problem. They all just wanted to learn the right way. I understand that. But still, I'd finally gotten fed up with it. And it was my own quirk, but I'm just saying, the scientific calculator just, so I went up, I did the math problem on the board, and I remember the answer to this day. He did the math problem on the calculator, and I did the math problem on the board. I came up with the answer of 29, and he came up with the answer of 26. And I told him, okay, now that you've done that with the calculator, I want you to check my math.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find a single error in my math, then I will accept your calculator. After which he dismissed me from the classroom.
I was gonna say, like, did he get offended? Was he like,
Yeah, he
don't
got
show me up?
he got major offended because like
Exactly. It was the ego, you know?
Yeah, it was all ego. It was like, you know,
Uh-huh.
if you're hardcore enough, I mean, and in case you're wondering, the problem is PNP, which is vector analysis. And he was asking a vector analysis question of a pre-algebra class, which
Okay.
was another thing that royally pissed me off. So I decided to really get on him about it.
Yeah.
It was, and I asked for the values because, you know, it's pre-algebra. We're doing pre-algebra. You got to have the values of the numbers, this, that, and the other, so we can figure out the, you know, the end result.
Yeah.
And so when I come up with the end result of 29, and he comes back with that 26, I turned around and I did the explanation of, you know, check my math, this, that, and the other. And then as I'm walking out of the class, this is what I think actually got me flunked from the class, because
Oh.
honestly, I did get flunked from that class.
Oh.
I said something about I don't know why somebody would bring vector analysis into pre-algebra classes anyways. I mean, nobody here's ready for that. And if I remember correctly, he shouted something as the door shut, like "Don't ever come back" or something. I don't know.
Oh no. See,
Yeah,
yeah, that's ego. Absolutely.
it's a total ego throw, and I
Mm-hmm.
took that to the dean. But you know, the dean didn't see my way. Of course, it's a whatever situation. I don't care. It was enough to prove to myself that I know my mathematics. I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
So in the end result is that I turned around and I wrote a freaking a logarithmic theorem
Yeah.
in astrophysics. So
And what were you able to do with that though? It's not like a lot of people don't listen, you know? And so
well,
you're
I'll put it this way: if somebody is having to deal with space flight around a black hole, they're going to want to have my logarithm.
yeah, okay.
Because if it's not what Einstein said, or what was inferred by Einstein, what Einstein said, okay, because Einstein didn't say shit about black holes. He just said that they were possible because of a mathematical equation. If the other flip side of it is of what we observe as black holes in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the flip side of that, then you're going to want my logarithm, because the reality is otherwise you will not be able to navigate the gravitational well, which means you'll get sucked into the black hole. And you will find out whether or not you are going to turn into spaghetti or you're going to turn into a pancake.
Yeah, they're very fascinating. Wasn't it just like a couple of years ago they discovered another massive black hole? I think, if you remember that, was it like 3 years ago or some shit? Or maybe not even that long ago.
No.
I don't know. It's fascinating, absolutely.
So the logarithm's actually based off of the idea of a maelstrom, and that comes from the concept of cavitation in water.
That's Greek to me, Turbo.
Well,
You know your shit.
Speaking of Greek, the Greek were the first to figure out how to navigate a maelstrom. Which a maelstrom
I've
is
heard
just
the
a
word
spiral.
maelstrom, but I don't know maelstrom very well.
Okay. Like when you pull the plug on your tub, all right, and you see the spiral going down the drain.
Yeah.
Imagine that is several hundred feet wide.
Okay.
That's called a maelstrom.
Okay.
And
I know the word. I just forgot the definition. Absolutely.
okay, so a maelstrom, what it does is it will suck ships down at sea. Unless you take a specific trajectory away from the maelstrom. And you wouldn't think of it as it's the one that you should take, because the one that you should take would actually put you further into the maelstrom before coming out.
Oh, kind of like when you, okay, that makes sense. I was gonna
So you slingshot out of it rather than trying to come straight out of it, because if you try to come straight out of it, it will inevitably pull you back in.
Like when you go the opposite direction from the eye of the storm, and then I think
the actual best idea is to drive dead straight into the storm at an angle, and then take that angle just shearing off to the side of the storm, so you get the speed of the wind behind you, and that pushes you around the outside of the storm instead of getting sucked into the middle of it.
Yep. You go into the eye and it's calm, and you think you should keep going, but you don't know you're in the eye of it. You should go into the... Okay, I got it. That's mind-bending.
Hey, physics is amazing.
It really is. Fascinating shit. I agree. You're one smart man, Blaine.
The Greek were the first to figure that out, but they did it intuitively because of the way that a sailing ship works. Okay. Whereas I'm the one who wrote it down on a piece of paper and then presented it to a group of my peers.
Yeah, and they didn't know what to do with it. Or maybe some did, but...
Oh, no, they know what to do with it. It's a matter of... okay. Because it's written in a sense of... Is it like astrophysical astrophysical mathematics, which is still in calculus, but it's it's got a fancy name. I can't remember what the fancy name is.
Yeah, I didn't go beyond algebra, and I was like,
anyways, basically it explains how you would navigate anything from a maelstrom all the way up to a black hole.
Okay.
So instead of we're going to dive straight at the black hole to find, to go through it, instead we're going to aim at a region of space right at the corner where the black hole meets space.
Like the cusp, yeah.
Yeah, right at just at the event horizon, but not quite there. And that's going to give us just enough of a slingshot to push us out. And it'll push us out.
And what? Do you go through a wormhole in any, like, is that even part of this?
That's the concept of a wormhole. Okay. Is that because you are moving so fast through space, it pushes the fabric of space and time around you so that it creates that manipulation of what we would consider to concept as a wormhole. Okay. Now, that lead part of that equation is not part of Einstein's equation if you look at it.
And I have not.
Okay, so...
I mean, I know his theory, MC equals square.
Yeah,
I do not.
the one that everyone knows is E equals MC
Exactly, because
squared,
I'm
which is
just like I'm
actually,
a novice compared to what you know.
that's the relativity of light. That's the relativity of energy to matter. Okay. But if we were to say gravity, we're talking gravity, and we're talking the manipulation of gravity on space and time, because speed, okay, and speed is acceleration through space.
Velocity.
If we manipulate the speed by gravity, it will become exponential to the amount of gravity felt until the point where we break with that gravity.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be represented as M.
I wouldn't know.
No, that's M cubed times G is relative to.
You're hurting my brain.
So yeah, I could write it down on a piece of paper faster than I could tell it to you.
Yeah. Your brain is amazing. How's happening in that brain?
But the problem is that I get my brain goes sideways and then I can't remember the logarithm.
Well, you do have a buzz, so you got to put that. You got to take that. You got to factor that in.
Yes, I do have a buzz. So there's that. But I
Yeah.
do have it written down somewheres in there. And it's one of those things that I just it's giggle factor for me. Like everybody else, they get giggle factor off of big booms and making lightsabers and stuff and full automatic. And I don't get me wrong, I get giggle factor off that too. But if you ask me what gives me the most giggle factor,
what's that?
How's about this?
Okay.
I can fly a spaceship from the center of our galaxy to where our sun is in about a year.
But you need oxygen, guy.
With my brain.
Oh, with your brain.
Yeah, with what I know in my mind, I can take a spaceship with a certain proper fixins and whatnot's necessary. I can take a spaceship and fly from the center of our galaxy to where our sun is on the outside of our galaxy in a year.
Okay, so you'd be able to like invent the technology in order to make that happen in that time frame?
We already have that technology. We've had it for thousands of years.
I mean, in that time, I didn't know in a year. I don't know it. Well, I have no idea how long it was. But if you went there, you burned the fuck up. Like, well, how in the hell? That's the technology.
It's a lot brighter there. Okay, so and we've also had the technology to deal with that kind of whatnot for at least the last 75 years. So it's all, it's scales of economics. And
I'm getting a buzz.
What will make the most money for a particular situation and task?
Money.
One of the reasons why we don't have the same technology all in one place in a spaceship versus, all the technology in one place, like a speaker. Funny enough, most of the technology that would get us from Sagittarius A, which is our black hole center of our galaxy, to our sun, is provided in a speaker.
In a
speaker. I'm talking the old school tower speakers,
Okay, well, how is it in there? I don't understand.
It's the magnets and the magnetic relation, the way that the magnets are set up.
I just call all that outer space sorcery. I don't get it, but you do. Okay? I mean, I do get it. If I wanted to, I could. I'm not stupid, but I just haven't, done as much work on and research on it like you have. Or my brain just doesn't work like yours,
Well, I've known this since I was quite a bit younger, actually.
Yeah, if you've been fascinated for decades.
This is one of those things where biology Okay, this is a part of human biology and something that I've explained it to other people, but it's just kind of like in passing sort of thing.
Yeah.
Human biology makes it so that men will always be able to grasp physics better than women, except
right.
for the few rare exceptions, and that's with
Hey, and that's okay with me. I am fine with that.
rare exceptions. But I'm just going to say,
There's something to
the
that.
vast
I'm not
majority-
disagreeing with you.
the vast majority of physicians are, and we're talking true physicists.
But let's go.
Well,
But
yeah.
I think oppression has a lot to do with things.
Okay,
if you know what I mean.
But
Okay, you
even
don't.
still,
Okay, we can
I'll put it
agree
this
to
way.
disagree. That's all right.
I've tried to talk physics with my mother, who went to a prestigious high school and went to a prestigious college. Okay.
Yep.
I've tried to talk physics with her,
Mhm.
and she comes back at me with just a migraine. She can't
But
think.
can I say, hey, if I made the effort, like it sounds like you have, to learn this stuff and ace it, I'd be able to do that. I don't know if it really comes down to biology.
Again, it actually does, because my
Okay.
mom did try. Okay, look.
Well, that's her, though. I mean, I think every individual is different regardless of gender.
Hear me out. In Southern
Okay.
California, there's a high school called Bishop Montgomery High School. All
Okay.
right. And students that go to this high school have the best of all education in every aspect. They can choose their classes, but there are some classes that are absolutely mandatory, and you have to finish these classes to exceed another year. And that's just how it works. You cannot get around it.
Yes.
Well, one of the mandatory classes is science class. The 4 years break up the different sciences. All right. But it's science class. You cannot pass through high school without doing this class.
Okay. And I know where you're going with this. You're going to say that
astrophysics, nuclear physics, biology, calculus is part of it, believe it or don't, because that's the mathematics of science. The scientific method, all of this stuff has to be learned. Chemistry, all of it. It's not.
I get it. It is equal in that regard. I understand where you're going with that.
And everybody has to learn this. Now, the difference is that like some of the more minute, fine-tuned stuff, you don't get pounded into your head, but you get the general grasp, the full general grasp. And when it comes down to the astrophysics part of it, they do actually pound that into your head, because California is one of the states that's really big into the aerospace industry, does a lot of stuff with NASA, does a lot of stuff with SpaceX. So, of course, they're going to be big into trying to push the astrophysics in school.
Okay.
Well, if I try talking about black holes to my mom, she gets a fucking migraine. She can't sit there.
I understand that your mom does that. I think you're right in some regard when it comes down to biology. Okay. I have thought about this, and I think that like internally we as women, we not subjugate, but we what's the word for it? You know what? I'm not going to try right now. I know where you're going with this, and it's not. I don't disagree with you entirely. I just have my own theory on it.
Okay. Well, the reason why I said there are the freaks out there, all right, is that some of the most brilliant astrophysicists that I've ever met in my life are women. All right.
I think, are you
That's
going
what
with like
I
the
said.
vast majority? Is that what you're doing? Are you ratioing it, or like what do you? I don't.
There is a ratio to it. All right.
That's where I
Let
think
me
you're
put it
going with
this
this.
way.
Yeah.
As far as we go with nuclear physicists, there are, or have been, we'll put it that way, there have been in the entire time of it about 33, 34 women nuclear
Which
physicists.
is
There are over
absolutely understandable
there
due
are
to a
over
lot of factors.
500,000
I
male
know,
nuclear
but
physicists.
you
So I
do
need to
take
point
in.
that out. When it comes down to that, it's not something that's so desirable for women. So therefore, you're not going to pay attention
Well,
to
I
it.
mean, you got to factor in
That's
all
biology.
circumstances.
That's biology. It's just simple. If it can't pique
Not.
your
It's not.
interest, you're
In
not
my
going to learn
opinion, it's not just biology. But we can. I mean,
it.
you're like one of the most. You're one of the more intelligent people that I've talked to through this.
If it's not going to
Means
pique your
getting to
interest,
know
you're not going
people.
to learn about it. That's the whole point. And that comes down to, again,
You can say you can. I right. You can fact. Oh, there are factors in biology. I'm going to say there is. I agree with you. Something to that. Dude, now I'm getting a buzz. The hell? Come on. I don't know what I should do at this point. My buzz just caught up with me, Blaine. But no.
wait, did you have some?
Yeah, I'm drinking wine. And it's like,
Well,
what?
oh, well. That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why when I start talking astrophysics with my mom, I'm sitting there drinking beer. She's sitting there drinking wine, and she starts getting a headache. And I go,
I'm gonna get beer.
well,
I'm gonna order liquor tomorrow and have it delivered. And I haven't drank beer in so fucking long. But I'm gonna get beer, Turbo. Guess what I'm gonna get? Bud Light. Let's not go there. I
oh,
know.
Lord.
Oh no. I was gonna get Coors, but
You know, I don't know what it is with all this. All of a sudden, people's got to boycott it because, like, I don't know about y'all, but I've been boycotting it since Bud Light Lime came out. I mean, that stuff
that's
tastes
funny.
like freaking citrus
Okay.
piss.
Well, I think that's a better cause than what's happening now. Fuck that Bud Light Lime. Like, what the hell is that about? Maybe I'll get some Pfeiffer. Maybe I'll get some red, white, and blue. If they
I
still
mean,
sell that.
I'll put it this way: when I drink, I think the last time I drank Bud Light
You
was
know?
with some of my cousins, and we were shotgunning beers. And I went through like, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure I went through a 30 pack, and I didn't even catch a buzz.
Really? Well, maybe I won't get it then. Screw that. That's a
I mean,
waste of
I'm
money.
just gonna put it this way: there is a reason why this is my go-to beer.
What is
All
it?
right,
Oh,
Total
that's on the spendier
Domination.
side.
Total Domination Northwest IPA.
How much is that for a case of those?
Well, I pay about anywhere between 12 and 15 bucks,
Oh, that's not
16
bad.
bucks
I don't
for
know
a
if they
six
have that in
pack.
Minnesota though. What's it called? Because I'll order it if we have it here.
For a six pack. For a 12 pack of these, it's
Oh,
like
I thought you were talking about a case
24
for
bucks.
24.
You pay a dollar per for, or no, $2 per for a 12 pack.
Shoot, I don't even know how much beer costs here anymore. If I get I was like, should I get a 12 pack or a 24 pack? I don't know.
Well,
Probably 12.
if you want the good stuff, the more you buy, the less it is. If you want the shit,
Mm-hmm.
the piss water, the more you buy, it's pretty much the same price, anyways.
Well, maybe like I used to drink I got into the dark lagers for a while, like a harp. That's an Irish one. It's like
Yeah.
Guinness, but I like it better. and Summit, Sam Adams. Those are
So
no
yeah, you like the lighter, more
ales.
Brady beers.
Yeah, but I
I've
don't
always
want to
liked
spend that. I'm gonna get Coors or Butter.
I've always liked a good citrus hops,
Oh, okay.
and that you get that with the IPAs. You get that with
The
the
pale ales. Yeah.
you get that with what's the other one? The red ales. If you've ever had an Irish red ale, oh my God, that is so good.
Really, I won't like when it comes to that. I've only had like Harp or Guinness, but those are like the dark lagers, aren't they?
Okay, well, if you can ever get your hands on Irish red ale, that
Okay,
stuff right there will put, you know what?
I'll look it up right
I'll
now.
put it this way. My daddy used to tell me that stuff right there put hair on your chest, but I'm not gonna say that too long.
Red ale. Okay, let's see what we have here.
However, it might put your tits up. I will say that.
Okay, so we have Finnegan's. We have Bent. I'm looking it up. Lift Bridge. Oh no, Finnegan's. I'll order some Finnegan's.
If
We
I
might
could
have.
ever recommend a brew, it would be the Red Car Red Ale.
Let me look that up. Red Car Red Ale.
Yeah, that is an Irish red ale. All right, that's from Torrance, California, from the Red Car Brewery down there, and it is delicious.
Oh, I found it. Oh, it looks familiar. I've never had it. It's just like I might have seen it in liquor stores.
Maybe it's a specialty brew, and
Red Wing Brewery. We have it here. All right, I might have to buy a 6-pack of that.
because yeah, Red Car Brewery's red ale is,
Oh, okay.
or they call, I think that it's called uh, Red
Let
Trolley.
image of it.
It might be called
Yep,
Red
you're
Trolley
exactly right.
Ale.
I was just to say it's called Red Trolley Ale.
Yeah, but it's from Red Car Breweries, and I tell you what, it's wholesome. It's got it's got a little bit of a citrus background, but at the same time, it's really wholesome bready. So
Ooh,
it's got the best of both worlds. Like you like lager,
I
and
do. I don't know about a citrusy taste. I like the taste of like skunky beer, you know?
yeah, no, it's got skunky, it's got citrusy.
That's the
It's
taste.
the coolest thing about red ale is it's so flavorful. Like pale ale's pretty good, but red ale just there's no comparison.
So we have a brewery that makes it here in Minnesota even. I'm looking it up. So, okay. Carl Strauss Red Trolley Ale. But it's got a citrus to it though.
It has a little bit of a citrus background. It's really hard to taste when you're really heavy into the IPAs. But if you don't do IPAs much and you do more of the lagers and more of the bready flavored beers, you'll taste it. That's actually where I got my first taste of that, and that's why I started going more towards the IPAs.
Well, I
Was
can't knock
because
it till I've tried it, and I'm pretty sure I've never had this. So I'll have to buy it.
it was, it was
Buy it.
interesting. It was just a hint, and it's like you'll get this kind of nasally kind of reaction in the background. You're like, "What was that?"
I'm reading about it. It says the use of English hops makes all the difference.
Yes, all the
And
flavors. It's really
yeah,
strange.
it said
I
it
don't
can
know
be
why.
sweeter. So it's a little sweeter, it says, than its American counterpart.
Yep, Irish red
Okay.
ale, is really good.
I think I'll like it. I'm gonna try that. I'm a little excited to try this. I'm going to like
That's
it.
one of those ones I'll recommend. I loved it when I was younger. You can't. I'll put it this way though: if you drink IPAs normally, you will not taste the citrus flavor. I went back one time and I tried it and I didn't taste the flavor in it because I normally drink IPAs now. If I went for a while of just drinking, like Rocky Mountain piss water, or or whatever,
like Rolling Rock,
Rolling Rock, something like that. Maybe I could get back to a point where I'd be tasting the citrus in it. You get more of a nasally kind of.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Taste.
I'm pretty sure I'll taste it since I don't drink it.
It's more in your nose. It's not on your tongue like with IPAs.
I'm not an aficionado on that. I haven't drank beer in years, but anytime when I used to go out to the bars, which was a lot, that's all I drank was beer. But when I drink at home, I drink dark red wine or I drink vodka. But lately I've been drinking that fucking Fireball. I've been getting Fireball because I've been hanging out with people who drink that. That like cinnamon whiskey. Oh my God, I've been getting wasted on that stuff.
Hey, you know what? I'm still wondering if we're going to start doing atomic body shots.
What are those? That sounds great. What is that about?
All right, so that's when you take that Fireball
and
you do the body shot with a Fireball, and then you have to swap an atomic Fireball jawbreaker.
Oh, hey! It's via the mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a little sexual.
Lord, I'm not that deviant.
You kind of are, I think. That sounds fun. I've never done that, but I want to. All right. What do you mean? You swap? Oh, so you like swap it from mouth to mouth, the liquid, the drink? Oh, you've done that?
No. Okay. She hands you an atomic Fireball, or he hands you an atomic Fireball in your mouth.
Are you talking about the candy, or are you talking about the drink?
The candy.
Okay.
All right. The drink, you do it from here or
from the body,
from up here, or off the abs or something like that.
That's where it goes. Like the belly button has to be a part of that body shot. How else are you gonna have the liquor stay on your anywhere really? Okay, proceed.
So but first you do the shot, and then you swap the jawbreaker.
That sounds a little dangerous. You could choke if you're drunk. But yeah.
Well, that's why they don't do it very often. It's only for if you're starting off from sober.
For another drink. That sounds fun. I want to do that for fuck's sake. I know like those cinnamon jawbreakers you're talking about. Yeah. But that Fireball,
Fireball jawbreaker, and Fireball. When I was a kid, not when I was a kid, but when I would
say when you were a young adult, a teenager, or
what they would do in the bar instead of doing Fireball, because Fireball was expensive, still is, but it was
kind of.
What they would do is they would take and line up shot glasses of vodka for the night.
Nice.
And they'd take those atomic Fireballs and they'd dissolve them in the vodka all the way across.
Oh, okay.
And you had the choice of spending extreme freaking amounts of money for Fireball, or you could have one of the cheapo shots.
Yeah, and my whiskey, not whiskey, but vodka is my go-to hard liquor. And if you're going to dissolve a Fireball in the vodka, then it'll taste much like Fireball, I suppose. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never done it, Blaine. Mine! Lord me. You're funny.
No, it doesn't taste like Fireball.
I don't know. I've never done it. I've done vodka, but I always mix
It
I
tastes
always
like
mix vodka with like
an afterburner.
tonic water because that's my go-to.
It tastes like vodka with an afterburner, which gives you the cinnamon burps.
I want to do a Jaeger bomb. Want to do a Jaeger bomb?
Oh hell no!
Oh, those are fun.
I mean, I'll drink it. I'll drink a Boilermaker with you, but
I've never had a Boilermaker. I don't think I probably have, and I just don't remember. Because what is in a Boilermaker? I'm gonna look it up.
well, it's
Oh shit!
a tall glass of beer.
Oh, is it?
with a
I've
shot
had
of
a
Jaeger.
black and tan, but okay, Boilermaker.
It's a tall glass of beer with a shot of Jaeger.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. But I won't do a Jaeger bomb because Jaeger bombs.
Well,
There's
they call it here, they say it's a whiskey and beer concoction, but I guess Jaeger sounds a little better to me.
well,
What is Jaeger?
They do it. They do it with Jaeger. They do it with whiskey. It depends on. It depends on whether or not the sorry. It
What
depends
is
on whether
that?
or not you're in the Southwest or you're in.
Yeah, I'm up in the north.
It's like a Jaeger bomb in that you drop the fucking shot into the beer, but a Jaeger bomb is made with a lager. I'm pretty sure that a Boilermaker is made with an ale.
Okay, it says here there are two ways to do a Boilermaker. The first asks you to slam a shot of whiskey, then drink a beer, while the second has you dunking your shot of whiskey into your beer, then chugging it.
Yeah.
But there are other ways to make it, obviously, like you just described or whatever.
Yeah. You could substitute for Jaeger, and it's not so much of it's not a Jaeger bomb because, like I said, it's a different type of beer.
I want Jaeger because, dude, anytime I go to the bar, that would be my go-to. Like, you want a shot? I'm like, sure. I always say, give me a shot of Jaeger Meister because it was very medicinal and
Go
it was
on.
so cool.
Hey, you want to go to the bar so we can drink cough syrup?
Yeah, exactly. I said it's medicinal. You right on the money. You know what it is, man. I was like, what?
That's so stupid. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not towards you. I'm just saying.
No, I know. Nah.
I'm not trying to be like, I'm just saying that it's kind of funny because, you go to the bar to drink liquor.
Yeah.
And you pull something out that you keep in your you keep in your medicine cabinet in there and for sore throats and stuff.
I
mean, that's what I would use Jägermeister for.
No doubt, right? It's like cough syrup. It's like what?
That's what it was. It's what it was envisioned as when it was first created, was as a cough syrup.
Okay, all right. Well, that makes sense then. Okay. Where I'm typing this in. You have such a buzz, Turbo. I'm looking up Jägermeister. Yeah, it's German, obviously. I didn't even remember that. Created in Wolfenbüttel, Germany. In a vinegar factory. Are you there, Turbo? What happened?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right, that's all I had to say about that. I was just looking up Jaeger.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was one of many concoctions that a feller tried to come up with in order to make cough syrup.
Yep. Oh, yeah, the creation of it. I think I watched something about that a long time ago. Yeah. Like, oh, God, that brings back a memory, dude.
And
Okay.
if you ask me, Jägermeister just tastes awful.
Yeah, I know, but that's my go-to shot.
See, my go-to shot is uh, I'll have a Frankie of like
What's that?
I'll have a Frankie of some Jameson Red, or maybe some what's another good one? I'll maybe a Glenfiddich.
What is
That's
that?
a brand.
Did you
Good
say
to
that's
see
a
you, brother. Good
wine?
to see you. Huh?
Did you say that was a wine?
No,
I thought you said the word wine. I got
whiskey,
confused.
Scotch whiskey.
Oh, I know.
I
I
do.
thought I heard you say wine. I don't know what I'm talking
Like I
about.
said, I'll get a Frankie Sinatra of it, because if I'm gonna do shots, I'll do 2 shots, please, not just one. A
Yeah, right?
Frankie Sinatra is a cocktail glass, 2 fingers of whiskey
Oh, okay.
over ice, and it's normally 1 cube of ice with a twist of lime. If you
I
do a
like
twist
that.
of lemon, you done fucked it up. It's not a
Damn it,
twist
I'm
of
trying to look up.
lemon, it's a twist of lime. And the twist of lime is you take the rind off the outside of the lime and you
Okay.
twist that and then push it into the alcohol. It's called a Frankie Sinatra. Or a
Oh, it's
Frankie
it.
Sinatra.
I never heard of that one. Nope. Never had it.
And I have had so many people fuck up a Sinatra when I've ordered one. It's like, oh my God.
What do they
They're,
call them?
they're like,
What
what's
two
the Sinatra?
bartenders? Like
You call
a
yourself a
mix.
mixologist, yet you don't know what a Sinatra is? Son, that's the original freaking whiskey drink. It's
What?
2 fingers of whiskey over the top of a freaking cube of ice with a twist of lime.
Mm-hmm.
It is so basic that there is no other like that. That's the first one.
I want to have one of those. I'm looking up the origin of Jaeger.
Y'all remember when I made moose piss?
No.
You take and you do snow in a cocktail glass.
Snow?
Yes,
I love that.
fresh snow right from
Yeah,
outside. You pack it
freshly
into
fallen snow. I will go
yeah,
out with like a Tupperware and scoop that up and I'll go in and eat it. I love
freshly
fresh.
fallen snow. You pack it into a cocktail glass, and then you pour whiskey
Packaging.
over the top of that. It's called moose piss.
Okay. Wait. What do you put in there again?
Snow,
Yeah.
cocktail glass.
Uh-huh.
Pack the snow into the cocktail glass until you get a full glass of snow. And then you pour whiskey over the top of the snow until it fills the cocktail glass halfway.
Wait, what are you pouring in there again?
Whiskey.
Okay, so it's whiskey and snow.
Yeah. And it's
Oh,
called moose piss.
I would drink that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because, I just started drinking a fucking whiskey-based drink recently. And I usually stay away from brown liquors. But not anymore. Not anymore. Or brown hard liquors, what have you.
Brown liquor, it'll get you there quicker.
Oh my God, fuck yeah, it'll fuck me up. Hi, God Plan. Look at it. Oh, you're drunk. The dude came in here and said, I just subscribed. Good content. Keep it up.
Well, yeah, he was over there on another channel, and we was hanging out and shooting shit and playing board games and whatnot.
Really? Love
Yeah,
that. I want to play board game.
board
Hi,
games
God
on
Plan.
YouTube.
God Plan said, yo, thumbs up. And then say, yeah, fuck me every time. I don't know what that means, God Plan. I don't know. I'm getting a buzz. You're fucking
It's sitting there being trying to be funny. It doesn't translate in text, brother.
It doesn't. I'm in StreamYard. Is it showing up in? Oh, yeah, it is showing up in YouTube. Oh, good on you, God Plan. My strike will be over in a day and a half, and I'll go live. Blaine, you gotta come back over and hang in my stream too, okay? You better. I miss the old.
Just remember, I don't always get that drunk.
I know that, Turbo. It's okay.
All right. Well, I have been on for about 3.5 hours, y'all.
Hey, I'll end it. I'll end this. Let you end it on your own. I'll take off out of here and let you you do a finish up monologue. Okay.
All right. I was going to do the outro anyways, but as it worked.
What do you do? Okay. All right. I fucking have fun talking to you. I'll be over. I'll be able to go live in 2 days. I hope you come over and hang. Right. But if you don't, no biggie. All right. All right. Peace out. How do I get out of here? Oh, I found it.
It all works out in the end. So as I was saying, I got to get back to the get back and get her done before, the sun's gone, son. So I will catch y'all later. This has been a rendition of the Freedom Forum. We went out to the woodshed for this one. Perhaps we won't have to do that again. Who knows? Shit just keeps on falling down the freaking shit pile, and I don't know what to do now. But I will. It'll work out in the end. It will work out, God willing. As it were, this has been Yo Guardsman and motherfuckers. I am out.